recording show started. But so this is, I'm gonna introduce this as just another episode of the Reese Paulcast. I'll probably rename it something since I'm trying not to have it just about me. But I don't know, like now that Zoom is the standard for people podcasting everywhere, I might as well just revive that thing I was trying to do, trying to just interact with comedians, trying to capture the hang, whatever.
For sure, by the way, call it the Reese Paulcast.
Okay. But we have god damn, once the recording starts it feels fucking dumb to talk. But it's Michael Madsen.
Imagine how it is to listen.
Michael Madsen, Jose Dynamite, and we got Bryan Rupp down over here. Bryan Rupp, Big Island comic, and then Jose and Michael started in Oahu, and Michael's out in Portland. Yes.
Oregon.
Portland, Oregon.
We had to specify because there was a debate off air which Portland, because apparently there's two. One in Maine.
There's three. I don't know what the third one is, but someone said, I said I was from Portland, and I was like, oh, Maine or Oregon, and they're like, no, Georgia or Texas or something. It was something weird, and I'm like, what? Who has ever said they're from Portland and not had to specify when they're from the third one? If you're from the third one, the specification should be part of the word Portland.
I'll tell you people who have never left Portland, Georgia, and don't know geography.
I will feel really bad if there's not a third Portland and I am just dumb and misremembering something.
It's like
Portland.
The Springfield. It's like a Springfield where it's all over the place. Like in 18 states, there's a Springfield.
It's actually Portland, France.
I think you should be allowed only one. I think a location can only be used once, and then you have to add new to it. Like New York did it right. There was a York, now there's a New York.
Yep.
Everything after the original Portland should be New Portland.
Yeah.
Where do you think New Honolulu should be?
Kauai.
No, New Honolulu has to be somewhere
confusing as hell.
that still exists after global warming raises the water.
Yeah. Bikini Isle.
New Honolulu, Colorado.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. That's the island.
I went to the weirdest open mic ever in fucking Portland, Maine. Can you cuss on this?
Yeah.
Okay. That's probably good that you don't got video of me because I'm just going to be probably smoking pot the whole time. But
oh, no. Don't say. Okay, no. No, yeah.
Oh, okay, I thought you were being serious. I was like, oh, it's already canceled. That was fast.
Just at the end.
Dude, this fucking open mic in Portland, it was like in this, it took me like a week or two to find, but then there was this place, I think it was called the Pines, and I went upstairs and there was like a DJ, like big time, like Apollo. Yeah, like Wicca Wicca, like intro music. And then there was the host, and I signed up on this list, and there was like 30 names on it, but it was just this addict, DJ, and the host. And there was no one, no other comics, no one. And then she would say these people's name, and they would just appear out of the back. I don't know where they were, find a green room. I don't know where they were. And they would come up and just say their 5 minutes of jokes and then just leave. And it was like, what are you guys even doing? And like, it was just me and my brother just sitting there watching everyone. But there was no audience. They didn't watch each other. I don't know where they were hanging out, some secret green room or something. But it was like 30 guys like that. And they would just come out one at a time, talk in an empty room, and then leave immediately.
That was what a Laugh Track Theater felt like down in Chinatown when I first, when I was like a kid doing it, like just like 18. And I went down and I just kind of stood in the audience, and then all the comedians were coming behind this like awesome, curtain. And I was like, what the fuck is going on back there? And it was just people being dicks to each other, apparently. From what
God, 18? So you've been doing this for 10 years?
You son of a bitch. You fucking mentioned this before, and you're a fucking bitch for bringing it up now. No, I quit for a long time. Billy Sherman still counts it, so that I'm not at the same level as him. That's right. It is a global conspiracy against you, Billy.
My favorite thing is how comedians, like, there's a big thing with comedians lying about how long they've been doing it. so
either
that they
too short or too long.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, oh, I've only been doing it for a year, but 6 years before that, but I only went once a week.
Yeah.
And it's like, so you were still doing it.
Yeah, this is my Tonight
Sometimes
Show.
you're like, I didn't get serious
like
about
me.
it until after 4 years.
The very first time that I got started in comedy was 1999 at a talent showcase at my university. And then I went on stage 3 years later when Laugh Factory came out here, did that 3 times, and then didn't do comedy again in 2004. And I usually say I got my start in 2004 because that's when I started going to open mics multiple times a week, every single week. That's when I really started taking it seriously. So the first time I got on stage and did comedy was 1999. The first time I really started taking it seriously was 2004. And probably the first time I got a laugh was 2005.
2019.
I'm kind of curious. How have you noticed audiences change over that period of time?
How have I noticed audiences change over that period of time?
Yeah.
Well, the crowds that I was seeing when I first got started, which part? The first part, like when I started 2004, before that till now.
I mean, as much as you can honestly remember the audiences. Like, I think if it was me remembering the first time, it would be hard for me to gauge what an audience was like. But like, if you were watching comedy, just like how the audience has transitioned, if they have at all.
Like, at what point did
as early as you can remember?
Did the crowd just stop being okay with gay bashing? Or if they haven't, then
are you looking to come out, Reese? Is having a second child just a ruse for your cover? It's all right these days, you know?
This ain't the only beard I got this quarantine.
Heyo. No, so when I kind of got my start was really, there was at the time considered another renaissance of comedy happening, where there was so many different shows going on at the time. So we had Lanai and Augie were doing shows over at Brew Moon, which is no longer exists, but it was Is that
the spot where you had to be clean and wear a dress? I mean, a suit and stuff?
You had to wear a dress.
You didn't have to wear it.
That's what I thought. I'm saying it wrong.
And the audiences were all about gay bashing.
But we had to be clean there. There was also Sharky's Comedy Club, which was run by Bo Irvine. That was at All Star Cafe. That place no longer exists, over in Nike Town in Waikiki. Andy Bumatai and Paul Ogata had a show in Waikiki, and Frank DeLima was doing something, and then the Brothers were also doing their shows.
Jesus Christ.
So there was a lot of comedy happening around town. And in addition to that, there was like a couple other small open mics that were happening. So when I got started, I was actually doing Augie's, Lanai and Augie's show, and I got to open up over there, and I was doing 3 minutes at that time. And then and that was on Wednesday nights, and then Sharky's was happening on Thursday nights. And then they'd also have a Friday and Saturday night showcase as well.
Jesus.
But Thursdays was the night that they did the open mic. And so you got to see different audiences and different crowds that were attracted to the different comedians. And obviously working with Augie at the time, that's right before he recorded his first Live at Hawaii Theater DVD.
Right before he sold out.
Sold out. And so, and then after he released it around Christmas time of 2004, he started going on tour the next year to really start promoting it. And so I was his opening act, starting with that tour. The first show I did with him on the road was I did a show on Kauai, and then Hilo, and then Kona, and then Honoka'a. And
that's incredible.
Every single show that we went to, there was just a massive line of people just outside waiting to come in. And those audiences, it's all local people, local families with kids and everything.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're talking like 300, 400 people lining up just to come see these shows. So
you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like the only person that's kind of poised to do that now, coming like into the future, is someone like Tamua.
Tamua, yeah, he's gonna be the next guy.
Tamua, I remember going to his first the
Hawaiian Brian
was it
show?
his headlining? Yeah, his Hawaiian Brian show, where it was easily like 200. Granted, most were like family, friends, etc. But being able to really plug into that local crowd is such an incredible.
It seems
such
like
an incredible thing for not only him but for the scene, and like you said, it provides kind of a renaissance in the scene, and I'm excited to see. I mean, granted, with COVID stuff, everything's up in the air, but I'm excited to see something like that happen again.
Oh yeah, and that was a fun show. I remember that show because you and Lance and Shannon, I forget who else was there. They saw me get off stage. And I did like a whole bunch of all these local jokes. And they're like, oh my God, Jose.
You did all your old shit.
Your new stuff just killed. Oh my God. I was like, that's all my old stuff. That's 10 years. Those jokes are 10 years old, but you guys had never seen it because I'd been just working on newer material that's apparently not as funny as my old stuff. So
it's fun to dust out old bits, man. Or dust off old bits.
When did
Brian? What's your favorite joke?
Of what?
Of yours that you do?
The most consistent one is the phone sex one. Like that one is just consistent as shit, and with like every crowd. Some stuff didn't work out when I was on the mainland. Like my closer doesn't work at all on the mainland, which is bashing hippies. Which they just don't get that. Like I'm like, hey, but you start bashing hippies out here, and everyone goes nuts, man. Like.
Oh yeah, no, I bet. Especially Big Island, right? Is there like a huge contingency of?
Dude, it's insane out. Like I'm not even considered a hippie out here. Like that's crazy. Like I don't. But out here, yeah, there's a bunch of. Do you guys got woofers on Oahu?
What? I don't even know what that is.
They're
roofers, like people that
woofers.
Yeah, we got plenty of roofers.
WOOFERS. It's like World Organization of Organic Farmers. It's some acronym.
Holy shit!
Some of these people charge money to go to these farms. They learn farming or whatever. Oh, I think they call it ecotourism or something. Or
that makes sense.
Like that. Go on.
Oh no, like
what are you saying?
I think that mainly like. I live in Waimanalo, and there's a couple farms in the back roads, but those are all like they have to have some sense of legitimacy in order to like survive with land costs out here. Like you got to be selling to like farmers markets and fucking businesses directly. Like I don't think there's like a spot for like what's it called? It's not a.
They're called woofers. A lot of them are just straight up scams, though. They get these kids out here. And they just take them and they're like, hey, go get EBT. And they like literally take their cards from them and be like, all right, we'll go to the store the 4th or 5th, whatever.
Yeah.
And
that's crazy.
They'll like rent them pallets, like literally like a pallet and be like, this is $50 a month.
Damn.
Wait, they're renting a pallet to live on?
Yeah.
Like that's their bed?
A pallet, like a wooden pallet you would see in a factory. You know, like you can put a tin on that. It's like $50 a month. And these kids just get trapped out here because there's no work. Some of these farms are just, it's not like beautiful Hawaii like you think. It's like way high up in the cold ass mountains, and it's just dirt roads, and it's really dangerous up there.
Yeah, and it's just like
stuck
coffee beans and tulips and shit.
Yeah, or just some predator that's just creeping on them, like all those weirdos.
Just like I saved up like $3,000, and I want to move somewhere where I can be off the grid. And you just like that's what happens with on cruise lines with internationals. Like I feel like I've heard it happened with Filipino nationals where you get there and they take your passport and then they just like won't give it back to you. Like you're just stuck out there.
I don't know about that.
It's bad. I think you go to the embassy or something, but I know it's bad if someone takes her passport.
Yeah. It's like people who don't know the rules and shit, like just getting fucked over. I mean, that happens everywhere, right? People get fucked over for not knowing the rules.
How long have you been doing comedy? I mean, we just kind of met recently.
We've had some. I met you like once or twice, Rupp, and we've had some really good talks about fucking. I mean, I know you're a huge Opie and Anthony guy, right?
Huge what guy?
Opie and Anthony.
Oh yeah, O&A.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, it's. I still like listening to their clips. I mean, I try to get people, Patrice O'Neal, Louis C.K., Bill Burr, Otto and George. There's been some huge comics, and they had some deep conversations on there. I mean, listen to Patrice O'Neal.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff captured on O&A when he breaks down comedy or women or money, whatever he's talking about. But I mean, I try to tell lots of comic fans because I don't know. I never heard about O&A till 5 or 6 years ago, but I didn't even really get into them till just a few years before they got kicked off the air.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's classic shit, man.
Yeah, it seems like it's carved up like what a lot of people's fan bases are is like people who used to be on O&A, who see and know like the Rogans and the Bill Burrs and stuff. They like. It feels like there's like this base that happens in the East Coast, like Pennsylvania, like Maryland style. Like I guess just people who get to listen to fucking what's the tall Jew frizzy hair on Sirius XM now?
Howard.
Yeah, Howard Stern and
Dude,
O&A and stuff and Norton.
He's cool and everything. I just remember those videos he had on I think it was VH1. He had a TV show back in the day.
Yeah, I think so.
I just remember as a kid, that shit really creeped me out. I don't know why. Yeah. But I just remember as a kid just seeing the studio.
I remember seeing him
Howard Stern
like naked.
studio?
I don't know. It just always creeped me out. I don't know. I know he's the man and everyone loves him, but yeah, he's not my style. I've always been the O&A guy.
Yeah.
And it's not even like I care about their feud. It's like I don't even care about their feud. I know they don't get along, but it's just like it's not my style.
Yeah.
So when did you get your start?
Well, actually, Brian, we're going to ask you to sit on the Sybian a little bit later in the podcast.
Yeah, I know.
I'll be nodding off on heroin.
Howard Stern's going to be like, yeah, man, I heard you talking shit about me on that podcast. I'm not sure I know what Sybian means.
Oh, that's fine. Look it up later. Have a good time.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
I'll be honest. I don't know what that word means. Guy drinking the wine.
Michael has very bacchanal tastes. It's over there. Sit on the Sybian.
Sybian and wine.
Yes.
We're actually not that interested because your video is not working. So it's like there's nothing for us to see there.
Yeah, I feel bad for you. I actually put on a nice shirt, and I'm afraid to take it off because I'm like, the video might have the video later. And you're just gonna see my fat rolls. I'm like, But yeah, it's just a shame. My hair is actually brushed. My beard is extra big and disgusting. You're missing it.
I know you have quite a decent beard, right?
Yeah, it's pretty big. It's pretty Amish, Duck Dynasty looking.
I've been trying. This is the longest it's been for a while, and I'm realizing I don't have what it takes to do a beard.
Is it just too annoying?
No, I mean I don't mind it. It's just it's consistently not grown in the places I wanted it to.
Is it patchy?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, just some guys can't grow it. Like, Jose, you can grow a full beard, can't you?
Yeah. See?
Yeah, you got the full beard. Yeah. Reese, you got, what do you got going on there?
I think I'm missing a couple spots. My brother has a really rough time. We're like a quarter Korean, so like we're like hairless in certain spots, like Michael is. Maybe it's just low testosterone.
Like Michael is.
Yeah.
Reese, edit me a full beard in post.
I'll edit you a Nick Mullen beard.
Oh, dude, you listen to Nick Mullen, man? That guy's hilarious, man.
Yeah, he's great. I mean,
I don't get how that guy's not bigger, man. Holy Christ, is he funny?
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's just like carved out, like the same thing with the O&A thing is that like he's carved out a certain niche and it's working for him. You know what I mean? I think he's one of the guys who I've had this thought a couple times, but people who are dark arts type comedians, you know, it's a stupid thing to say, but it's what I call it, is like Big J talked about it before. Like once you start dabbling in the dark arts, like, you know, what happened with Shane Gillis is that like you say things that can be perceived as racist and people don't take irony well. And then you try to get a mainstream gig and people find that crazy shit you do, you know? Like if you do dark arts, you should stick to dark arts. And I think,
dude, you gotta, like, I can't ever try to just be clean. It's like, dude, I'm just gonna do what I do. It's like, you don't get it. Yeah, I'm not.
I've seen you be clean though and destroy.
Yeah, I can tell clean jokes, but it's just I'd rather like.
It's not the voice you want.
Yeah. It's being clean. I mean, you gotta sometimes like when I first started out, I was like way too foul, like just way too foul, and then no one would like me, and then like I remember this one creepy ass dude. I said some fucked up like child molesting joke or something. He was like, after the open mic, he was like, dude, I really like that. That was awesome. Blah blah blah. And I was like, dude, is this the kind of fuckers I'm attracting? It's like I don't want people like this. Like, fuck that. Like,
yeah.
I remember the first time I met Bryan. I was doing was it the Paul Ogata show? Is that the one?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was promoting Paul Ogata over on the Big Island, and
you came up Mikowski.
Yeah, my buddy, I had Nick McCoskey as the opening act, and my buddy Aaron Sheehan, who had been running a lot of the comedy over on the Big Island at that time. He had just had a baby and moved back to Idaho, I think, and he sent me a message like, "Hey, I got my buddy Tony Ridnour over there. Do you think you can give him stage time to open up?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And so I get there, and I'd never seen Tony perform, never met him. And Tony's there, and Tony introduces me to Bryan, and he's like, "Hey, do you think you can give my buddy here some stage time too?" And I was like, "Oh God, I don't want us to turn into an open mic." And I'm like, you know, it's pretty much, we're pretty full. And Bryan, I'll never forget what he says. He's like, "Dude, you literally have 50% of all of the comedians on the island on this show." I was like, "There's 2 of you?" He's like, "Yes." I was like, "Ah, all right."
It used to just be me.
Yeah, and I was like, tell me a joke. And I totally put Bryan on the spot. I don't even remember the joke that you told me. And you're like, "Give me a minute to think about it." Like, okay. And so he thought about. Do you remember what the joke was that you told me?
I think it might have been the shave my head one.
Okay, yeah.
And I told it, and you were like, "Is that it?" I said,
"Tell the joke."
You got to tell the joke.
Oh, all right. That's
burn material.
I look, you know, I'm a stoner-looking guy, and I just go, I'm thinking about a shave in my head, and have him make a wig out of it. That way, if I go bald, I can wear the wig. And then if anyone ever asks me, "Hey man, is that your real hair?" I'm like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, it's my real hair, dude." And I told it to him, and he's like, "That's it?" I was like, "It kills on stage." But I remember saying that. I was like, "It kills on stage, man." It might have been another horrible joke. I got a lot of horrible one-liners I've written.
Jose was gonna put you on anyways. He just
the Dan Ninen excuse. It kills on stage. I swear to God.
Yeah, I remember that. He put me on. I had a good set. I had a good joke.
Actually, what's funny is you actually did better than Tony on that show.
I had that great joke. It was when the tiger or the dentist had shot that lion, and everyone's freaked out about those hunters.
Cecil.
Yeah, Cecil, exactly.
Fuck, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and I had this joke, and I was like, I got this plan. I'm going to start this charity to help all the kids in Africa. I was like, I'm going to save up and get money and buy all these kids little lion costumes. I'm going to say, "Here, if you put these lion costumes on, people will give a shit about you." And yeah, I was like, "They'll make sure you get water and shit. No one kills you." And yeah, they got a big laugh, but
yeah,
I can't do it anymore because it's topical. I'm waiting for like another asshole to kill. I'm like, yes, I can use that joke again.
You could do it about.
That's really funny to try to influence global politics in a way where Your
You
old
can do it with
bitch
the
when
Tiger
you were
King
like
stuff.
2 years in, start becoming
Yeah.
relevant again.
Yeah, it's like if you had a good school shooting joke, you just be like, all right, just wait for the next Sandy Hook, and I'll be back in. Like, you just.
I'm actually, I'm against gun control because I have this fucking mean bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like guns, right?
Just
Guns are-
Kinane's
I like
15
guns.
minutes from the stand-ups, or Kinane's the Netflix half hour. Where
Can
a
you
lot of
imagine
the beginning is about whatever.
being Jim Jeffries like in a year where he's like, wait, don't get rid of guns. wait for at least a year before I come out with the special, and then you can get rid of guns.
Dude, you should have the starving children of the Midwest dress up as tigers.
Or Flint, Michigan, or something.
Yeah.
Or
Oh my God,
Water.
Flint being a city of tigers.
Oh
Or the
yeah.
Tiger King, or that
isn't it
guy.
the
That guy's
Detroit
pretty
Detroit
Lions?
cool.
Tigers. The Detroit Lions.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
There
are
we
there
go.
tigers and something else?
The
baseball.
Tigers are
They're-
the baseball
I think they're
team.
baseball
the Lions
team.
are the football team.
Oh yes. Okay. Cool.
I know more about Michigan sports than I know any other state sports.
I'm surprised you know anything sports.
Just from an ex-girlfriend.
Okay. She must be a Red Wings fan too.
What?
That's the one team I haven't heard mentioned, so I don't think so.
Jesus Christ.
Did she like the Wolverines or the Trojans?
Fuck hockey. Huh?
Did she like the Wolverines or the Trojans?
It's the Spartans.
From my experience,
Oh,
she's
the
a fan of
Spartans.
Trojan.
Is that Michigan
Magnums.
State? Trojan Magnums? Yeah.
Fucking
They're sponsored
game,
by Black
set,
Raw.
match. That's it, folks.
She's not a huge fan of Trojans.
She's not a fan of anything. Like, she's a lady. She raw dogs.
We've got a dirty
It's been
Simeon.
like a euphemism for this long, and then the euphemism has to break at some point.
Dude, I remember
Oh,
we played Ringgold, Georgia in high school football, and they just straight up, they were the Ringgold Trojans, and they just straight up took the condom logo. Like completely copyrighted it.
That's
Just, they didn't give a
hilarious.
fuck. It was just the exact same logo. Like they just stole it. It was hilarious.
it's like, say
Ringgold,
something.
Georgia?
These are children.
Yeah,
say
Ringgold,
something.
Georgia.
Is that near Portland?
I grew up in Tennessee. I've never heard of Portland, Georgia, but it wouldn't surprise me at all. There's a Paris,
fuck,
Tennessee.
now
There's a London, Tennessee.
Well, if it's Georgia,
Now
it's
I feel
open
like
already.
I might be making it up.
I wasn't surprised. It's probably like 50 Portlands.
We actually have a huge listener base in Portland, Georgia.
Huge fans. Yeah. Rabid fans of ours. Or of
Yeah.
Reese's.
We're publicly lauded in Portland, Texas, though.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's good. You can buy stock in this? Is this a 500 Fortune traded company?
Yeah, this is publicly traded. If you mean that you take the episodes down on cards and then 5 people have them.
Okay, so I did look it up. There are a fuck ton of Portlands. There is a Portland, Georgia. I was correct.
What's
There's
it
also a Portland, Arkansas, a Portland, Colorado, Connecticut, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine. Like,
Jesus.
there's a Portland for almost every state.
Wait, why the hell is there a Portland, Colorado? What the hell is the port?
Landlocked?
It's in the mountains. How there is no port. Like if it's a Portland, it should be like near a massive body of water somewhere.
It's
not even, like, big
definitely
rivers
more
there.
land than port, for sure.
It's not like
is
there's
it-
a lot of rivers there either.
Their name, their name referred to the bend in the Connecticut River, which curves around half the town's perimeter, Jose. So I knew that off the top of my head, so should you.
Oh, okay. Thank you. You're right. I appreciate you correcting my
You're very welcome.
my ignorance right there of the Portland knowledge.
Dude, the Portland, Georgia was pretty close to me. I should have heard of it. It's just outside of Atlanta.
Oh, shit.
Oh my God, we're all looking it up on the pod.
Yeah,
Portland,
it's close to
Georgia,
the,
about to
it's close to the
blow up.
Alabama line.
Shout out.
Welcome to the Reese Paulcast, where the guests go on Wikipedia.
We only. Sorry,
Just for
the Reese Podcast, where the only Portland we fuck with is Portland, Georgia. That's it.
I think
ride or die only Portland, Georgia here.
The state
Reese,
podcast.
you're gonna start off all your podcasts with like an obscure fact about a different Portland each time. I think that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
So there have been a lot of like jokes and memes about like starting drinking because of quarantine and stuff. What have you guys been doing to cope with the quarantine? Because mine has absolutely been drinking, and I realize that's hack. But
you have a different type of wine in your glass right now than from.
No, I switched to whiskey.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Well, I haven't really been drinking as much as I was before because. I mean, when I was twice a week, I'd be going out on Wednesdays and then Fridays, occasionally Thursdays. Usually when I was playing hockey on Tuesdays, there's a bar right next to it. So, there'd be multiple times throughout the week where I'd be drinking. Now I really haven't been drinking all that, like hardly at all. I've had a few, like one bottle of wine and had like a 6-pack of Rolling Rock.
So you drank because of proximity. I drank because of like loneliness, and I only really felt that now.
Yeah,
Michael's a real Bukowski.
You could really get into scrapbooking, Michael, if you're looking for something to do.
I have all this stationery that I can use. I don't know what scrapbooking is, but I imagine it's similar to stationery.
That's when your mother destroys all your childhood photos. That's what scrapbooking is.
Yeah.
Cuts little hearts.
My mom ruined every photo of me as a child with her scrapbooking. She would take a photo of like me at a birthday party and cut out everything except for my face and be like, here's the birthday boy. Like, it's completely out of context. She didn't save the negatives or anything.
I didn't have friends. I just had a face.
Yeah.
I found out recently my mom called me kind of out of the blue, and with like COVID and stuff, I was a little worried. And she called me and she said, I've been wondering, like we were cleaning the house, and we wanted to know, we've kept every single one of your baby teeth. Do you want them? Right?
My mom has my casts. I broke one of every limb.
Were you like, who gave me that money? Where did all that money come from? I thought that
initially that's good. Initially my thought was like, obviously throw them away. But then I thought, as a comedian, maybe make a necklace. And then I thought, did you do this? And then I thought, did you do this for all the kids? And then she said, yeah, I did it for your sister. I have 3 other siblings. She
and
only
your
did
cousins
it for
and your
and no, so she did it for my sister, and she did it for my dog.
For your dog?
For my dog.
That would make an amazing necklace.
I asked to see pictures, and she said, well, I'm only going to send you pictures of you and the dog because I don't want to send you pictures of your sisters. And I said, why? And she said, I don't know. I feel like that violates her privacy.
So no, Mom, she actually lost that in the Patriot Act.
What you need to see your
baby teeth.
You need
what do I do with the teeth?
What you gotta do is you gotta send them to Jasmine. Send it to Jasmine so that she can like put it on like some
a golden spiral,
some dead bear's head, and give it like human teeth. Because she's all into that weird taxidermy shit. So like here's Michael Madsen's teeth on a body of a dead mongoose.
Because my current plan was get a necklace where it's all my teeth and then one dog tooth.
Hell yes.
Just in the center.
Maybe you should do. And then you do the Wakanda to everybody. Oh my God,
so
dude! You should do. You should have that and a loincloth, and then you start a series of videos called "Millennial Hipster Builds Pool in the Woods."
And you're gonna make those like wear those LMFAO like sunglasses with just the vertical.
What's crazy is she said like she had like all of them in a bag except for one of them she had separate. And the one of them she had separate, she had labeled by location and year. And I was like, why is that one different? And she's like, well, you were really weird about your teeth. No, you were weird about my teeth.
Yeah, when your mom was like, give it to me. Give it here, Michael.
Give it. You made a really big deal about this one. You kept it in a Ziploc bag for now 14 years.
My grandma has like a small velvet like wedding ring case with this tooth because it's an adult tooth, and this one got stuffed back in. Like I fell off a bike face first, and then both of these burst out, and they just have it, and it's like fucking like it goes up into your jaw a while, so it looks like a tiny like a small like a shrew's dagger.
Are you saying that if I lose any teeth, I have replacements?
Yeah, you can have see how big and stupid this tooth is? There's another one out there.
I could just have like really small teeth replacing.
Yeah.
You guys are like talking about trading teeth as though they're Pokemon cards right now. Does it have any special powers?
I'm actually tapped on teeth.
That's how you said how they used to make dentures out of dead people's teeth.
Yeah. Like, didn't George Washington not have wooden teeth? He had the teeth of slaves.
I don't know about that one. I know they had like some nickname. They called him like Waterloo somethings, like something after the Battle of Waterloo.
Yeah.
They got, like,
he was gonna have slave teeth, but they were slightly bigger.
He didn't have the fast twitch muscles needed to chew with them. All right, maybe we'll delete that part. No one's listening.
The Bill Burr joke.
Who's gonna listen to the pod?
Yeah, it is.
It's like the quick twitch.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Bill Burr thing was talking about was that when the sports guy that said
who finally snaps and he's like it's because they're different. It's because they're different.
Jimmy the Greek, wasn't it? He was like, look, he went into some rant. He's like, they were bred for this or something. They're like, what the fuck?
You see everyone else distancing themselves from him.
Yeah.
That happened. So I watched this video of this newscaster. They were talking about something like where it was different when you watched with like sound, and he's like, it's like incest porn. You don't watch it with the sound on, and it's normal porn.
I know exactly
every single other person in the news station immediately distances himself. It's so funny to watch because immediately they're like, what is it? I've never heard of it. What are you talking about?
Dude, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's like one of those cringe things on YouTube. And then immediately the guy's like, he tries to explain himself, and he's like, he gives you a box of videos sometimes, and sometimes there's some incest porn, and they're like, what the fuck, dude? It's like,
he's like, no, you don't understand. It's like on accident. Sometimes you watch them on accident, and then you have to mute it because you watched it on accident.
This guy just bought a condo with his wife and newborn.
I know. A guy lived with an apartment building in Seattle that worked at a porno shop, Blue Video off of Aurora Avenue. And he gave us a box of pornography that was too hardcore for his porn shop. And he's like, yeah, we can't carry this. Here you guys go. And we're just like, whoa. It was pretty graphic shit.
When it's physical.
Do you still have it?
Yeah. Yeah, hell yeah.
So I found out. Pardon? Go on.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
You send that to one of those digitizing services that's just like for family photos and stuff.
Yeah. Please, this is very important to me.
Your job is to make this available on DVD, but if you can make it available on Blu-ray,
this is your purpose.
Can you send some freeze frame copies of it so we can scrapbook the pictures and cut the heads off?
I need this on laser disc, okay?
My neighbor shoots porn.
Really?
Apparently, yeah.
Like he takes the cases and he throws them up, and he's actually a gun nut instead.
So she initially I was like, man, this girl has sex a lot. And then I'm like, man, that sex is over really quickly. And then our walls are really thin. So I overheard her talking about being a cam girl and like recording videos and stuff. And so I've been listening extra hard. And
with that same silly fucking hipster glass you have, drinking whiskey against a wall. One of them, yeah. Well, you have that up against the wall.
Dude, you should totally check out her website. Like while she's doing it, you can hear yourself knocking.
Yeah.
Like,
so I listened to my neighbor record incest porn, and I gotta say, way more annoying than I thought it would be.
what is the scenario?
Hey, bro.
It was like, I was like, this is going to be a pro for this quarantine. And it's just really annoying. It's like, first of all, the plot line doesn't really make sense. The mom just walked in on the husband fucking the daughter. Like, that doesn't give me backstory. And then second of all, it was over within like 3 minutes.
You're going to knock and ask her to stop doing that, and she's going to say there's no door on this side?
If you've got like really thin walls, why aren't you yelling things like, "Mom, where's the meatloaf?" Mom, did you wash my uniform?
Yeah,
that's
like
really
adding
good.
lines.
I keep thinking that I'm gonna walk outside and she's gonna be like, I needed someone for my videos. Like I keep.
Michael's walking past.
I've been holding a pizza
the...
for the last 3 months.
Yeah. Dude, I know. What a great idea. Like, I got a scenario. Here's an idea.
Did someone order a regular amount of sausage?
So I found out. Don't ask. I found out her cam girl name.
Mm-hmm. You have a digital porky's hole.
So I Google image search. I Google image search her cam girl name. And that's how I for sure knew, because our apartment layouts are the same. Like we have the same flooring. It's It's literally, I look at like the most searched picture of her, and it's a picture of my bedroom. It's incredible.
You did a lot of investigative journalism right here. This is an in-depth look at.
There were some pauses in the investigation, sure, but it was investigation nonetheless.
I hope you were just like sitting in a room, like chain smoking cigarettes, and your wife's like, "Honey, come to bed." You're like, "I gotta solve this shit." Like,
it's like that web of pictures that you see where the detective's looking at it, but it's all just cam girl pictures, and you're like, where does it connect?
It's covered in a different kind of webbing.
You got all those strings connected, like all the photos.
You're a
like
real
the Kennedy assassination. If he shot her from this angle, then there must have been
there must have been a second gun.
Yeah.
Technically, there's only drywall between me and her right here.
Clearly, what is this? The magic cum shot? Like you can see it. The first shot enters in through the left. Now,
if you look at frames 45 through 48, you actually see.
You can actually second cum shot enter in the rear.
You could actually request
now, some people speculated this second shot was spit from the first man. Now, the trajectory would not align with this. All right, I got it.
It's all over the pink dress.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, Michael. Have you introduced yourself yet?
Several times, and to no avail. I've kept saying hi. Have we met? And she said yes. Like it's been really bad. I keep walking outside, but just briefly because I have no reason to go outside. And so I'll just walk outside, do a little lap, and then walk back in. And I keep hoping she's like, "Hey."
You catch Corona trying to meet this girl.
I mean, it's just. Portland sounds great. Like, well, that sounds fun. I think
maybe need to get her to help
of the Portland. It's top 3 for sure.
I did an open mic in Portland. I think Darnell's. Is that a spot? It's a mixed open mic?
Not that I know of, but it could have been.
I did a couple there. I have to look it up. But yeah, it's a fun town, dude.
It's
What a great
been
neighbor.
interesting.
Me and my wife went there like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and we didn't realize that the car rental company was going to take out like X amount of money for lateral. So we drove some from Seattle to Portland, and we like didn't spend recklessly, but like we were cutting it close budget wise. And then we got to Portland, and basically every day we just had Five Guys and food and sesame donuts, not even voodoo donuts. We just had like when we just hung out in the hotel room and just walked outside every once in a while because we didn't have enough money to do anything.
If you ever do go to Portland,
that's like every trip I go to Honolulu on.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, it's expensive here.
Musu bees.
Oh, fuck.
I found out I haven't been to Voodoo yet because every time I was about to go to Voodoo.
It's Blue Star.
Blue Star is the one you're supposed to go to.
Yeah.
I keep like walking by Voodoo, and then every single person in Portland is like, if you go to Voodoo, you're a hack. Like, you're not a real Portlander. And
that's what they used to say about Seattle if you go to the Space Needle.
Yeah,
everyone
the Space Needle
would brag about never been there. They're like, born and raised here, never been to the Space Needle.
It's just okay. It's like I think it's worth the do. Obviously, I don't fucking know anything about Seattle, so.
If it didn't charge for entry, it would be worth it.
Legit, the best part of Seattle was that we saw a squirrel.
Congratulations.
Like
I thought I saw a squirrel in Seattle, but it was a rat.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was a large rat too.
Yeah.
One of my friends.
I found out
down the
I
street
stayed
with this girl.
in the wrong part.
Seattle's fun as hell, dude. I used to live there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my friends, he was walking down the sidewalk with his girlfriend, and there was a stoop where these junkies always were. And this morning, he was walking by with his girlfriend, and then she looked over at the two or three junkies sitting there, and she just said, "Your friend is dead." And they were like, "What?" And she was like, "Your friend sitting beside you is fucking dead."
Oh, shit.
No, he's just sick. And they were like, "Mike," and they like rocked him. The guy was dead as shit, and they were so high on heroin they didn't even realize, dude. Yeah.
I was going to talk about how I thought I saw a cat and it was just a large rat, but that wins. Holy
what's it
shit.
called? We went to a hostel in Seattle, and we went there the first day, and we just picked like a random room, and it was the only one like open. Like it was a family style room where it could just be us. And we got in there, and I followed the artist because he's actually a pretty good artist, but we got in there and we had our 2-year-old, and it's just zombies all over the walls, like very graphic depiction of zombies. And then when we moved something to block the zombies, it was just hardcore pornography behind the shelving. And we were just like, all right, this might not be working for us. So we had to walk from that hostel or whatever to the American hostel. We caught a cab over to Chinatown, and we had to walk around for a while to figure out where we wanted to go. And so it's like 2 a.m. in Seattle, and people are just smoking blunts on street corners, and we're like this little atomic family, just like with all our stuff, just like we should have been shot and robbed. But
that's where you used to buy
just
heroin.
So funny. Yeah.
If people were looking for heroin, you would go to Chinatown. People would just come up to you like, "Hey man, you looking for black?"
Damn.
And you're like, "Oh no, I'm good, man." Just
I went to Portland for my 21st birthday, but I went like a week before, and I was like, oh, the week before I turn 21, I'll go to Seattle because cities are fun before you turn 21. And I went to Seattle, and I just booked the cheapest hostel I could find, and it was in Seattle. And so I was like, cool, I'll go to Seattle. And then I got there, and I didn't realize the hostel I booked was in Chinatown. And so I got back from Seattle like a week later. I was like, man, Seattle, not a great city.
Yeah.
Kind of sketchy a little bit. And everything
International
closes
district.
down at 8 p.m. And then I realized I'm on the wrong side of Seattle. The only things I did while I was there, I went to a lot of really good Chinese restaurants, which I thought was weird. And I saw Jizza. And I saw Jizza from the Wu-Tang Clan.
You saw
Oh
Jizza?
shit! Really?
Yeah, he was just randomly performing like the day before my birthday, and I'm like, sure, yeah, I'll watch him. That sounds incredible. And it was one of the better concerts I've ever been to.
Nice.
And then it was that and a bunch of Chinese.
Was he performing at a Chinese restaurant in Seattle?
He was not. He was performing
okay.
adjacent to a Chinese restaurant, but it was not in itself a Chinese restaurant.
Okay.
All right, let's start wrapping up.
Cool.
This is very fun, very good. Thanks for coming through. And now that Zoom is here, I mean, I don't think there's any reason for no one to like do podcasts besides that they don't have a strange addiction to narcissism and think that they're actually funny. Oh God. But thanks for coming through. Michael, you want to just say what any live shows you have coming up? No, just if you want anyone to follow you anywhere.
But please follow me at Michael Madsen Jr. That's Madsen. Yeah, that's the only thing. I'll eventually post things on there.
Cool. Jose?
I love how he spelled out his last name and then doesn't say Junior. Is it, you got to spell out Junior? Or is it JR? You know, like
they'll figure it out. That's less options than Madsen, but it is JR.
I'm creating a fake account right now. I'm gonna steal all your. I'm spelling out Junior.
It's just one of those meme pages where it says go to this page instead, and it's Jose Dynamite. Jose, are you putting out content anywhere? Do you want anyone to follow you on certain things? I know you just started a TikTok.
I just started a TikTok. Don't know if I'm any good at it. I've been pretty much bored with it. Yeah, you know, that's just kind of
hard to figure out.
If anyone wants to follow me, they can follow me at Jose Dynamite. As far as too much, like, not as much comedy content being put out as you would think that I would really want to do.
I mean, you always have good takes on Facebook, like for local politics and stuff. Yeah,
you know, I've actually used this time and enjoyed spending it with my family, because you know, normally I'm doing so much. There's so much time being spent on comedy. I went out hiking last week for the first time ever, which is great because I've been putting on so much weight, and I'm really enjoying just being able to do other things beside comedy. But can't wait till.
Are you telling me you broke the stay-at-home order?
I've been here longer than 14 days, Michael, so I was allowed to leave the house. Yeah, and so I did that. So it's, you know, I can't wait to get back in there and start doing comedy again in front of people. But if this is the new way we kind of have to start doing things, it's nice to kind of just do this and be able to have a nice conversation with you guys. So
it's definitely nice to capture the hang while also, like, as soon as this shuts down, not having like a half hour, 45-minute drive back home, or like, you know. But Bryan, what's up with you, man?
Nothing. I got drunk and knocked myself out yesterday, but besides that, I'm pretty good.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Wait, you got drunk?
That's where you can follow him at. I got drunk and knocked myself out yesterday on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Yeah, it's on
the
TikTok
first
right
rule
now.
About Fight Club, we don't talk about Fight Club.
I got a piece of little shitty property on the lava flow. Jose's seen it. It's like literally the active lava flow. It's horrible. So I'm making like a shed out there to live in, like 12 by 12.
It was on fire sale.
Cheap.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Cheap as shit. Yeah. Lava. But it's in Kalapana. It's like a chill area and shit. But I was like, my girl drove me down there while I was working. So I was like, well, I'm going to just get shit-faced because I'm working on my own house. I can get drunk.
Yeah.
Like power tools and shit. Now, I did fine. But then I was watering, and my tailgate, because I just carry like barrels of water in the back of a car that's not designed for this shit. It just gets water everywhere. So the tailgate is like filled with all this water. And it's one of those tailgates you pick up. It's a Nissan Pathfinder. And the little handle's broke. So I've been using a potato cannon to hold the thing up. I hit it. My drunk ass hit it with my elbow, and this thing fell on me, and it literally like knocked me out. Like I woke up on my ass, like fucking seeing stars.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit. So like, I think I had a concussion or something, but I feel good now. But
I know that might be hard to remember, but all of that was his Instagram handle. So if you can
follow
type in that whole story on the Instagram, you'll find him.
I just want to say something funny before I wrapped up. I was like, I don't think I said anything funny, so
that was a good chat.
You can splice that.
Hell yeah.
But I'm just Bryan Rupp. I don't post shit really because I can't spell because I'm like dyslexic or retarded. So if you ever catch me live, just whatever shithole I'm at across the country, please come in. I probably won't be on the marquee, but don't worry. Open mics across America, you'll see me, Bryan Rupp.
That's the new Coca-Cola ad campaign.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was a good hang. Right. I enjoyed meeting you, Bryan.
Cheers, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Shoots.